Okay, good morning. This is Simon with Trading Perform Coaching. If you'll take a minute to read this legal notice, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will now take it off the screen. Right. So, if you'll look at the low when it came in, first of all, you trapped off of IB low. Let's scoot over this a little bit. Okay, so this is a trap on IB low right here. I'm going to change this so I can see the waves a little bit better. There we go. This is a move off of IB low, and look at the size of the waves coming off of there. This is the first dominant wave up, right? But if you look, we go supernova, and you'll notice I don't get the setup here, right? Now, some of you are going to notice that when the arrow down comes, instead of at the last bar, second to last, that the reversal still works. I'm not taking it because I want the highest odds, and I know that that arrow stuff specifically is where I want to get the trade, right? Next, when you look at this trade over here, this almost gives you 2 bars down, but if you look, you just went supernova. This is where this is important. Even if you shorted this, you're covering this, right? There's absolutely no reason to stay short. It's a minor stop at worst. It's a profitable trade at best, right? Slightly profitable, okay? But there's no way you're holding it to the stop all the way back here. It's giving you the arrow down and the move to the upside, right? And that's where that observation from Ed becomes important. Although his observation was a little bit different, it's still net the same, right? And if you look, technically we go supernova here. This is right at the IB low, and this is the first purple bar stuff. For me, that would have been tough to take at IB low because, as Ed pointed out to me when I spoke to him, any trader could have easily gone and said, well, I conclude that you'll go like this, right? And that would have been fine. If I would have gotten a pink bar up, they would have gotten stuffed, or an arrow up that would have gotten stuffed. That's what I would have traded for. The whole idea is to integrate it into your thought process so it's all the same, right? So we're doing 3 things today, and we're going to repeat those 3 things over and over. We are looking for arrow down that gets stuffed, right? Preferably down at the low. So that looks like this, okay? We are doing subsequent apex traps into that. We are doing plus signs that get stuffed into the low, or plus signs that get stuffed into the high, and subsequent apex traps, or actually just traps back into it like that. Like if you get this, it stops and traps back in. Valid entry, right? So that's 1 setup each, 2 total, and the subsequent traps back in, right? And then the third trade I'm taking is once we go supernova, right? I am looking for this setup right here, which is the pink bar stuff. I know I will take some stops on that. I want to repeat that. I know I will take some stops on that. So what I suggest is if you decide that you're just going to fire away today on that trade without going back and doing any homework, trade it small, because assume you're going to get stopped on it. Now, do I really think I'm going to get stopped on it? No, not at all. I don't think I'm going to get stopped on it at all, right? Or I wouldn't take the trade. If I would never take a trade, I thought I was going to get stopped on, right? But that's what I'm looking at. Secondly, it's a big gap. We have 218 on NQ. We have 50 on ES. I suggest you smoke the first half hour, right? What we have coming up today is, hold on, I will tell you. Oh, this is how I fixed that problem. The way we fix that problem is, first of all, let's see what we have on tap. So comments from Feds Musalem is coming across. That's how you say his name. And what we have for the rest of the day is 9 a.m. business inventories month over month. And that's it. We have Feds Harker at 12:10. We'll set an alarm for that. Hey Siri, set an alarm for 12:10. Feds Harker speaks.
Your Feds Harker's.
Got it. Okay. So that's all I've got there. I can minimize this. And so just relax into the day. Everyone had a pretty good day yesterday, right? Is there any area that I'm not covering that people, and then look to get behind the 30-minute levels, right? Is the other thing for key trade setups. And then I'll be looking for the excess on the waves if I can get them, right? If it slows down enough, you can switch off to the 15 tick chart, right? It's just too fast for 15 ticks right now, in my opinion, and too wide. You have to be mega quick, and the stops hurt. They're fast, right? So I'll be staying primarily on the 24 tick, and you can see there's the range on ES. Here's the range on AQ. Find that out a bit. So it's quite a while till we even get over to this, right? So we'll just watch it set up. We're opening near the Webex high, right? ES, much the same story. I'm gonna skew. And then let's let the morning play out the way that it's supposed to play out and not worry about, you know, I would not start front running the market, right? I just wouldn't. It just doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense, right? Just let them work it out the way it needs to be worked out. It'll be fine, right? It will be fine. If you just let the market play the way it needs to, they will get the trading done, and you will feel satisfied that you didn't get run over consistently, right? That's the best thing I can say about that, right? You'll feel satisfied that you didn't get run over consistently, and that's the goal at the end of the day. Okay. Wow, right back to the high. There's going to keep that truck trucking. Inverted supernova, pink bar stuffed right there on the 24 tick. 62 would be the stop on that hypothetically. That would have been a stop if you had followed that idea of inverted supernova. Obviously, it's the first half hour. This would be another short here. Stop on that would be, let's call it 70 just for sake of conversation so we can watch it. I do not suggest you trade in this first half hour, right? I'm just showing you what I'd be looking for, where it works and where it doesn't work. So it's not like, oh, it didn't work, oh, it did work. It's simply a matter of how do I want to say this? Hold on one second. It's simply a matter of watching the pattern repeat and seeing if it fits or suits your needs. Again, more importantly, arrow stuffed and apex trapped into arrow stuffed is the primary trade I'm looking for, and after 9 o'clock. Retest IB high. Apex trap into arrow down. Potential head and shoulders up there, as you see on the 24. Open drive higher, gap. So if you're looking to short, right, context would be below IB low, right? Hold below IB low. Obviously, NQ is stronger than ES, right? Secondly, we're looking for stuffed arrows and trapped into stuffed arrows, or plus sign stuff, like if that 73, 75 got trapped back in, that would be a valid trade. So like that 73.50 would be a valid short against that 92. Does that make sense? And they snap it back up so quickly. It's just crazy how the strength flipped from one direction to the other direction. New high and Q. Just moving on up. Just amazing strength in NQ. Just the explosion with that ball underwater is something else. Up 300 on NQ. Sure, glad I'm not bearish. I gotta tell you, that is just police brutality, no matter how you look at it. The Bears just got it wrong. That's all there is to it. ES making a climb back towards IB high, NQ above IB high. Obviously, you can clearly see you need below IB low to get a real downward correction going, right? I am just sitting as tight as can be. Wow, what a melt up. Just let it melt up. There's nothing you can do about it. There's no reason to fight it. Nothing you can do about it, nor should you want to do anything about it. Just let it rip. If it's a melt up, let it melt. It's an inverse crash. I mean, what do you want? They pushed it down with that. We just have an illiquidity issue to the upside. Just sit back and let them do it. $346 and a runner. Maybe I missed something this morning. I'm telling you, the hardest runs come off the top and off the bottom. Look at the short squeeze. Look at the highs. After so many days up, and there's nothing in here. There's nothing in here to make them want to cover. Like, they can technically run it up 500. Now, will they? No idea. And you got a long way to go to even set an apex. That's why I'm just relaxed. Purple arrow down, stuffed. I'm obviously not taking it up 343. I'll just wait till it resets somehow. That's just a ridiculous number right there. So I'll just let them reset it. People are being forced to cover. There's no question about it. That I 100% agree with. Look at that. Forced covering. About to do an apex trap if it can go down. Apparently it can. No inverted supernova yet. Just wait. You don't, guys, we don't have to trade this. I'm just telling you, you just don't have to hand yourself losses or fight it or anything like that. Just be cool with it. Just let it go and do what it's got to do. We'll get our setups, right? We'll get our setups. The first thing we'd like to see is an inverse supernova. Even if it fell 200 points, who gives a shit? It's running straight up, right? Inverse supernova. So now, if you wanted to short it, okay, you would look for a push up, pink bar stuffed, arrow up stuff, something to that degree, to get a scalp and or a trade to the downside. All right, we've now gone inverse supernova. That's occurred right here. Roughly. Okay, so now we want to see it push back up, give a pink bar up. When you see the pink bar, you want to get ready with your order. And you can see ES has come off pretty good. NQ is above IB high, ES is below IB high, ES is heading for IB low, so on and so forth. They've pushed super hard. I don't think anyone would be surprised to look at that and go, oh, we flip it or retrace back. But remember, in our process, we don't want to guess what the market's going to do. What we want the market to do is give us our setup, right? Apex trap with arrow up or plus sign up. Inverse supernova, push up, pink bar stuffed, right? Those are the two things we're looking for. That'll keep you from feeling like you have to jump all over the page to find your trade, and it'll just let you find your trade instead, right? You don't have to jump all over the place. Remember, it is mega fast. Have your stops in place. Like, it would not be surprising with the illiquidity to see it rip 10, 20, 30 points in a minute or more. Sorry about that. Okay, plus sign up, pink bar up, stuff. It's a 1 bar stop at 35, let's call it. Okay. It's 33, but it's going to fly past that. All right, so we're just keeping up with it is all we're doing. We're keeping up with it and seeing which ones work and which ones don't. We're not going berserk and going, oh, no, it has to work exactly the way I want it to work each and every time. We're not doing that. All right, it's the first time we've looked at it outside of yesterday with Ed and I, and Ed actually wasn't even trying to point that out. What he was trying to point out is once you're in trend, it works. What I noticed is once you're just in supernova, it works. Okay, so you're just using it for that purpose. Obviously, you'd want that to happen at the very top of the channel, right? And you'd like it to happen on the 24 tick up, right? So it's hard to argue the trend's been broken when we're at IB low. Also, very important for today, okay, I want everyone to mark it off. Go to 8:30. Once we were behind that 62 retrace from the open, from here to here, if we close behind that 62 retrace, I've said this many times, This is a death knell. Okay, I'm going to lock it. That area, once you're below that, you probably want to get pretty aggressive at trying your shorts on setup for rolls to the downside. That's that 62 retrace, and if it gives it up, yeah. So you see with the plus sign and the pink bar getting stuffed there, it's actually got to close above it to bust that trade, but no one's going to put that stop in on the 24. Right, you see the plus sign stuffed here on the 15, and you have arrow down stuff to the upside. So that brings up a good question, right? Which one do you take? The answer may be both, right? You take the stuff bar to the upside until you get the pink bar stuffed, and you go, oh, the trade's busted. I shouldn't see that, right? That's what I would say. And now you have the potential for the apex trap at 06. Here's where I run into the problem I was talking about. Again, Ed and I had a long conversation. If I apex trap on that, right, on that arrow down, I'm talking about this right here, which is your candidate, right? Process says take it. But for me, I look at it and I go, well, I'm still up 310 points. What am I taking it for? Like, where am I going that I really believe the old trader in me, right, goes, well, where's it going? Up 310, right? Where am I going at this point? Answer is I don't know, right? That's the answer. I don't know where this thing is going. So it's hard for me to take them up 310. I'd rather take it, you know, hey, pull back 100, pull back 200, and then let me grab the trade. Don't let me try to grab constantly for a continuation up or retest of the high. I don't know that that's right. What I'm discussing is emotions that get in the way of me taking the trade. Like if that 40 closes, it busts the trade, right? So that 40's busted. Now the next trade that comes in the option, if you're looking for the short, right? So if you're looking for the long, you're set. You got the arrow down stuffed at lifted. You're looking for the apex trap. If you're looking for the short, the next trade is the trap back in, right? That is the next trade for you. If you're looking for a move to the downside, right? That's the trap back in. And you'd go, okay, it's that against, let's just call it 44, right? So it's 27 roughly against 44. It's probably less than that. It's probably like 41, but and now you got to decide which side of the market you're going to trade. We're in inverse supernova, right? So you've got to decide which way you're going to trade that for the move, which part of the move you're going to trade that on, right? Is this helping? The commentary helping or too much? And they're not done yet. Remember, you're also going to have the IV high and IV low stat open. To me, the most important line right now in that whole thing is that 62 retrace. Now you're back in supernova, right? So you have both sides working right now, and you have to trade your, I guess, your bias. Mine is just to stay calm until I see where I'm clear. If I'm confused, if you look, I'm confused as to which way it's going, don't trade it, right? Until you're clear. Hey, buyers are in overall control. They're going to keep pushing up whatever. Maybe you say plus 400, right? Or you go, sellers are looking for a grasp hold. What am I looking for? So if I was looking for sellers, I want arrow up stuffed, or I want it to go back into inverse supernova. Like if I was still working the inverse supernova, this pink bar stuffed, right? At 39.75 is my bogey, and I've got to trade it the way I see it, right? So it's going to be 39.75 against 56, it looks like. And it is very hard to call these, very hard to call these in my eyes. And normally I would say, cool. And normally I would say, forget it. Like, this is stupid at this point. Wait till it gets behind the 62 retrace or does some kind of reset. It's just freaking hard. Like, I don't think anyone, I did not speak to anyone last night, today, anyone else goes, here comes another 500 points on the NASDAQ tomorrow morning. Right? I just didn't speak to anyone who thought that. Most people are saying, hey, this is just a bounce. We got to come back and retest. The market still looks unhealthy. Not enough new highs versus new lows. Blah, 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 blah. God, I'm glad I don't listen to that crap. And you can look, we can wait all the way till the afternoon. Yesterday afternoon we had multiple good trades late in the day, right? So let the crazies be crazy. Wonder what happened there. Unless you had your order sitting there, you had no time to grab that. Technically, you're in supernova. If you're looking for the long, they stuffed that arrow down. It's in the middle of the channel for me. I'll just leave it alone. Again, I don't understand why we're going up so much. And when I say that, what I mean is I don't understand how the behavior is working, not if there's a real reason why we're going up or down, because there's never a good reason or a bad reason. I don't see a pattern yet of them defending or fighting it off or anything else like that, so I'm just waiting till I see the pattern. I go, oh, I understand it. They're trying to push lower or they're trying to push higher. Now I'm just looking for the algos to set up in the direction that I can push it from the direction of my understanding. Right? That's what I'm trying to do. Wow. I honestly don't understand what the market's trying to do. So I'm going to sit back and let it do what it's got to do. That's the easiest way to handle that problem. That's going to be an apex trap if that holds. It's got to print 39.75. They seem pretty damn determined to try to push it up. I just don't get it. So I think I'll go get some coffee. I don't understand why we keep pushing up. I don't understand what the shift was in the market, besides people being forced to cover, which is okay. I just don't understand it. That's all. So usually I have a pretty good read on the market. I don't today. But the process is working. Look at the volume drop off on the retest of the high. That's what you have to get below. Yeah. New high. Technically want to drag this over. Arrow up. If that arrow up stuffs, I will attempt it for a stop. I know it's trend up, so you gotta decide whether you want to take it or not. But I will take 75, 70, 75, 50 and stop at whatever the high is plus a point. Short 75 and a quarter actually. Stop is wow, how is that possible? 75, 85. Oh, that's right. Let's just make it 91. 91 stop. And then the apex trap back in on that as a second trade. Size it appropriately or go, I'm not shorting, trend up. Either one. I'm taking the trade. I'm comfortable with the trade. I'll let it stop me and I'll take the subsequent trap back in if it traps back in. '91 stops me. I'll add because I went smaller than usual here at 81. That brings me to full size on the trade with a 91 stop. And I have no idea if it'll stop or not. It sure looks like they're going to stop me. That's all right. If I'd done a video, I'd have gone, that's your short, that's your stop, right? So I'm going to follow the process if I'm going to follow the process. So my plan will be is I'll take this trade and the subsequent trap back in. If they both stop, I'll pause for 30 minutes. That's the process, right? I don't like having to do that, but that's what I will do. I hate the whole thing right now, right? The lack of rotation, the constant grind up, all of it is frustrating to me, but that's all right. It's hard to imagine they're not going to take my stop at this point. That's not to say I'm going to cover. I'm not. I'm just going to let them take it at 9-1. Look at the volume drop off on the push up. Remember, if it traps right back in and I get stopped, I've got to take it again. And then I'm done. That'll be 2 stops. And I got taken. My entry will be 75.75. And if I get stopped again, oh, that's life. I don't think I can give any better warning than that on trend up. It's now 81.75 for the trap. It's now 87.75. Stop it at 87.50. That's the last one. In terms of if it prints another bar, there's no way to take the trade, right? I cannot picture how they trapped him so bad. I knew this was coming. Like, it is classic. You get the balloon underwater, you get a bunch of people to short the dead cat bounce, and then they all have to cover. That part is accurate, right? It's just the other way. It's just the other piece of this that's frustrating. Meaning the straight up, and I can't figure out how to predict it when it's coming. I was talking to Ed about that last night. I'm sitting at 87.50. and that'll be 2 stops for me. I'll take a half-hour break, and then I'll see if I get stopped, and I'll see if I come back. You don't have to trade it. It's clearly trend day up. You can wait for it to break and then come back on it. The desire to short that when it slows down like that is so strong in me. I'm short. Good fill too. 87.50, stop 0275. Breath being held. This will be 2 stops back to back. I'll be forced to wait half an hour. If you don't like the trade, again, I'm going to reiterate, if you don't like the trade, you are free to not take it, right? Just kind of go, forget this. I understand. Looks like I'm going to get stopped. They're marching it right up there. Again, my stop is at 02 1/4. It needs to be 03 1/4. But either way, it looks like they're going to take it. And here they come to take it. They got it. That's 2 stops. I'm done for half an hour. That sucks. I don't understand what happened today, but that's brutal. So I am locking my domes. I'll be back at 10:10 to see if there's anything to do. That sucks. I'm bummed, to say the least. I thought we could get some kind of counter rotation, but I'm wrong. And again, those big gaps got really hard to trade. I mean, damn. It's frustrating. And just no give in the line. You're going to have to redraw your 62 retrace. Hey Ed, how you doing, buddy?
Not too bad. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm disappointed they took 2 stops, but you got to give it to them. They got it to rally really hard. So I'm wrong, they're right, and I'm going to follow my process. But I don't like the outcome.
Yeah, I mean, we rarely do when we get stops.
Yeah, but that's why the whole thing is designed to do that, is to keep us from getting our ass completely beaten when they do this shit. So they're just, man, I wish I understood it. I truly don't. But what happened that we're rallying so hard?
Really? I didn't even look at the economic data, but obviously they liked it.
Obviously. So,
I didn't even look to see what bonds are doing, but I presume that retail sales was strong and bonds are probably a little weaker, but not too much.
yeah, I'd agree with that. I mean, I don't have a problem with it, right? It's fine. They can rally it all they want. I just didn't expect it. That's all. Like, I didn't see anything that normally would make me go, hey, Simon, be aware of this and don't do this today. Like, get long at any cost. I don't have a playbook for that. If I did, I would use it, right? But I just don't. I just don't have it.
Not your, it's just it's not your trading style. You know,
Right.
anybody, you know, the couple of other traders that I talk to, like their antenna, and I'm sure it is for me, and I'm not going to speak for you, but I'm sure you're starting to think this way, that after the sell-off that we had, now with this rally, your antenna starts to go up for something to turn the market back down, and then when it doesn't, you just have to deal with it, right? But your antenna goes up just because you've seen so many cycles.
Right. Right. No, 100%.
You know.
Agreed.
But, I mean, you could have said that yesterday, and you could have said it the day before, you could have said it, like,
Anytime last week.
so you just, I mean, it's almost kind of like, I'm diverging a bit, but I used to be pretty good at kind of the swing type positioning and mentality and so forth, and but I don't trade that way anymore, and it's fun, right? Just gotta let it go. Anyway, I had an issue this morning. I got set up I was going to trade the 15T, and then with the size of the move, anyway, this is longer than it takes. I changed my Sierra chart configuration. My take profit and my stops.
Yeah.
And in doing so, it completely, and I knew this, but I forgot. If you change, even if you have pre-configured things in Sierra.
Yeah.
Like you enter an order and it automatically places a stop, and you can have it set up a take profit and all the rest of that, right? Bracket orders.
Correct.
So I have configuration saved, various configuration saved. If you change the configuration, or you select another configuration, the allocation to account can change.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. So it's not a problem, I think, for somebody like you, because I don't think that you set take profits very much, but you set stops. And if you're trading off top specs and whatever.
Right.
Anyway, I have noticed this before, but here's the problem today. So I had, as you know, I have 10 PAs.
Uh-huh.
And I have 10 evals.
Right.
Five of those evals were passed.
Okay.
And I was, I think I told you earlier this week, I was like $40 away and $200 away from the other 5 passing.
Correct.
Right? and then they come back to like 104 grand, so I only have $1,000 a room. Right? I made a little bit of money yesterday, added that. But anyway, long story short, that Sierra issue, for that allocation issue, not only did it go to it copied. I ended up having 10 NQ and 10 micros, MNQ.
At the same time?
Yeah, I had 10 NQ and 10 MNQ in nine of those 10 evals.
Okay.
I can go into the details. It's really not important.
Right. So what was the damage?
It blew them.
Oh shit. Okay, this is only Apex. This is not your personal account, correct?
I took a small stop in my because as soon as I noticed that I just hit flat. As soon as I noticed in Rithmic what was going on, I'm looking at it and I'm seeing like weird contract numbers like 10 or 20, right?
Right.
And I'm seeing 10 on one and 20 on a bunch of others.
Okay. This is upsetting,
so anyway,
I can see, without a doubt.
Yeah, so as soon as here's my issue. I didn't have my Rithmic. I don't often have my Rithmic open. What I do is I enter a trade, I pop open Rithmic. Do I agree with it? Yes. Right?
Okay.
And then and then I close it, then I manage the trade, then I pop it open again. Right? Is the trade zero? Is my position zero when I expect it to be? Or if I'm taking a scale, is my position gone down? That's what I do. That's my process.
Right.
Because I want to look at other things, right?
Right.
Charts. Anyway, long story short, so I had 5 evals passed. I had 5 that were on their, back on their way to being passed. So I blew 9 evals.
Okay. That sucks.
So, yeah.
I don't understand. So wait a minute. So, and this is purely a Sierra problem. This is not a Rithmic problem?
This is 100% a user error. It's my error for not. I also have a process in the morning, right, where I go check my allocation to accounts. Do I agree with it? And then what I do, does it visually look right? Yes. And then what I do is I turn on my confirm new orders.
Okay.
And then I test it with and then I set up an order to go out to the market, like above or below the market, so it can't trade.
Okay.
Right? And then the confirm dialog box comes up. I confirm it. Is it going to the right account? Is it doing all the right thing? I put it out of the market. I look in Rithmic. It's working. I look on my Sierra chart. I can see the orders on the chart. Everything's all good. I'll move one of the orders. So that's my process. I do this every single day to make sure. And I did it this morning.
Right.
Then I changed my configuration for my stock. I saved it as a new configuration. I'm setting up the trade to 15T. Right? And then you caution, I think we're moving a lot, probably you want to stay away from the 15T. It's like, no problem. Right?
Right.
So I just quickly changed my stops and offsets, but I didn't go through my process of checking the account allocation. And then I took a trade. It was a totally valid trade, but it got stopped.
Okay. But it blew everything because it missed.
But it didn't matter. Anyway, long story short, that's what happened. I'm making this too long.
No, it's all right. I'm listening because at the end of the day, what you're saying is I'm upset about what happened. Right? Like it's very frustrating.
I am upset because I'm most upset about the 5 past accounts that got blown.
Right.
I realized probably in Rithmic there's a way to disable them. You can probably if they're sitting there, you can probably say, no matter what, they don't trade this account.
Yeah, you can lock them.
Yeah, and I didn't do that. So that's what I'm most upset about.
Okay.
The second thing I'm upset about is, we started this rally in the 15 tick purple stuff, worked over and over and over again. And I think I want to say like 5 times.
Right. I'd agree with that. If you could have caught it. I actually tried. I missed. I got so poorly filled a few times that I just flatted. But I actually tried it. Very small, but I tried it.
I did catch it. I caught. What I did was I also have 10 250,000 accounts. Right,
Okay.
Which need to get to 265, and they were 257.
Okay.
Right.
Are they blown?
And I trade only so one of those accounts traded a 10 lot.
Okay.
So it was down like $3,000.
Okay.
So what I did with that 250K account was on 2 of those 15 Ts, I traded a 5 lot twice.
Okay.
So I took it from down 3,400 to down 1,400.
Okay.
On 2 of those, but I didn't trade anything else. I didn't trade my PA. I didn't trade anything else.
Okay.
So anyway, you asked me to let you know.
Now, I'm listening before I start barraging you with suggestions, right? So if I were in your shoes, I would just be so freaking frustrated, even if it was my fault, right? I'd be so frustrated, right? So.
I am, but I'm not terribly frustrated. I mean, like I'm not. Okay, so here's what else I've done. I reset the 9 accounts.
Okay.
I did the two trades that I just talked to you about in the 250K account.
Okay.
I converted the unaffected past account to a PA.
Good
on a
job.
monthly reset, just like the other one. So now I have 11 PAs, 900K evals, and 10 250K evals.
Okay.
So my mentality prior to this, the reason I had the 20 evals going was that I was just going to, the 250Ks, they were the on sale ones,
Right.
was that I was just going to chip away at passing them with a 2 lot.
Right. Which is totally doable.
And then when I pass them, right, just do the signature, pay the monthly fee, because it's only like $16 or $17, and if I ever need them, I just activate them.
Right. I agree. That makes sense.
Right. In the meantime, I was going to work on getting to the 20 100K accounts and trade them as 2 10 account blocks. So I'm going back to the same plan.
Okay. I don't hear anything negative yet.
Good. I don't feel negative, but I feel kind of dumb for not checking, because I've been so careful about check.
Right.
I just have to make it part of my process. Anytime I trade, either that or find a setting in Sierra that says, find a setting in Sierra that says, no matter what you change your configuration to, don't change the allocation.
Correct.
And if I can't find it, then I just have to check. I have to go through that boarding process before I can trade. It's not like it takes a lot of time.
Right.
It doesn't take very much time, right? All I need to do is anytime I make a change in my pre-saved configurations, or if I select a new one, click on confirm new orders.
Right.
Right? Try and send an order, let the dialog box come up, and see that it's doing what it's supposed to do. That's the fastest way to do it. It literally takes seconds.
I agree with you.
Okay.
I agree with everything you've done. The only thing I was going to suggest is you just take a break for an hour and decompress. Like, that's the most important thing here, is that you take a minute and decompress. Because It does suck. What happened? I have some other things to say, but I can cover them, you know, later. I don't have to cover them now.
Yeah,
But
I
the
guess so.
decompressing part is important.
If there's a third thing I'm upset about is that I kind of feel like, I might have put a dent into our, productivity of the coaching session.
No, take a break. This was good. You would have put a dent if you didn't tell me till I got on the phone because I would have had to spend half an hour to work through it. Now I can think through it and you can think through it. We can message back and forth or I can call you back. But I think you're handling it good, actually. So I don't think you put a dent in our coaching session. I'll call you after lunch just before or during lunch just to make sure you get reset. But I don't see anything horrible here. Do you?
I'm interrupting your break after your couple stops.
Yeah, no, it's all right. I won't trade again until after lunch anyway, so we're all good. So yeah, I'm just gonna watch and hear. I'm off base. It's rare for me to take 2 stops, so I'm off base, and I know that, and that's okay. That's the warning sign for me to go, hey, take a breather. I don't like it, but it's not like what. The only thing I want the market to do is go down, and it's not doing that right now. So I'll actually be better off if it went down, broke the 62 retrace. It would cause mayhem, and let us trade both sides of the market, right? So that's what I'm waiting on, right? So we'll just see if that happens.
Do you agree that the 15T after we made that first new high, we had a new high in RTH that had a stuffed pink that was only good for a bar and a half. That's where I had my problem.
Right.
Apex trap. It was an apex trap. The first apex trap of the 24T on the RTH. I took it. I had this problem. And the one right after that would have got paid. I think it went like 30 or 38 points.
Right.
After that, actually I think you might have said, hey, we're in reverse. Or maybe I'm going to but after that, the 15T purple stuffs and 1+ stuff, I think they were 100% win rate.
They were, so I've got to rethink that. I was watching. And the other thing is, see how you just got that pink stuff right there? After we went inverted super. Well, there's a pink stuff. How do you figure out how many bars to cover for? What are you trying to get it to do? How do you figure that part out? Are you trying to get it to extend?
On a rally like this? Is it rallying still?
Well, we're coming back to the highs. We're 2 points off the high in ES, and we're just below 19,500.
If we're still in rally mode, I'm training my mind that unless I come into a much higher time frame level, like blue dot 60T or blue dot 40T,
Right.
right, or weekly high or some other level that I have marked out, I don't even want to look at the pinks unless I'm long, right?
Yeah.
Unless I'm long, in which case I'll say I'm on alert to get out of this long. That's it. I don't even want to look at it as a short when the PA is doing this.
Yeah, no, it's the right thing to do.
It just kills me. It kills me.
Yeah, I only have 2 stops and I'm bummed. I'm really bummed. I feel like I had a horrible day. The reality is I'm down 2 stops. I can make it up with 1 trade, but you can't make it up. I can't go long. I'm in that mental space where I can't go long and I can't go short, right? So now I just got to wait.
Is it possible the money you made overnight made you be a little more aggressive on the short side, trying to catch a move?
Could be. Also, I didn't follow my own rules, right? Usually I would walk away from a big gap like that. I would just go, let it trade. So I did all right. 2 stops is not a disaster for me, right? You hate losing money in front of other people. You feel like a schmuck, but that's my worst case scenario. I'm all right with that. Let me be a schmuck.
I think you did say, I think I heard you say, this is a valid trade. I discussed it in the video. I got to take it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. I would have pointed that trade out in the video. Yeah, and I did.
In a straight up market, but if it met your criteria, then you have to be. If I remember right, it was a trap. It was the trap of a stop pink arrow up.
Yeah, I did it right. I didn't do it off process. I wasn't guessing, but it just didn't work. That's okay. So, and I'm following the process now by not trading for the half hour, and we'll see where it goes. I just wish I understood what happened mechanically, so I could have read it better, but I didn't, and I don't, and that's all right. So I wish I could have looked at it and gone, "We're going to go."
When you say you wish you understood it more mechanically, what do you mean by that? Are you talking about?
Well, sometimes I can get to certain parts in the market and go, if the number's strong, they're just going to rip this thing, or if the number's weak, they're just going to rip this thing. But I don't think that 10 days up. Like if we'd been down in the hole, like let's say we were down 5-6 days in a row, the number comes out and they whoosh it down, I'll go, I'm looking for a reversal here. Or like a couple weeks ago, there was some number that everyone was looking for to come out to be horrible, and it was actually good. And I would have gone, oh, this is a good number, right? This is a good number. They're going to rally it. Now I caught that one, right? But it's really hard for me to do that after we're up. I think this is 8 days in a row now or something like that. It's hard for me to look at it and go, yeah, this makes perfect sense that we would do this, and this being go lower. So, or go higher
So
like
you're
this.
so you're in the camp that I talked about earlier.
Yeah.
We're 30 plus year market guys. And one guy I follow on Twitter, and another guy's a friend of mine who trades. And I read this guy's Twitter commentary, and I talked to my buddy this morning. And so I think all four of us are in the same camp.
Yeah.
7, 8 days in a row. How are we not having a pullback?
Right. Right. No, I know. So that, and that's okay. I've come to peace with that. That it's just a different market than what I'm used to. But it doesn't mean it's a bad market. It does mean I have to control my emotions, or at least my response to my emotions. And my emotions say it should pull back. Like in my head, I envision this thing going out like at 19,300 or 19,350, right? And it might. You might dump 100 points in the last hour. But the fact is, if I look at what's going on right now, it's not doing that. It's not showing any desire to push down, and so why should I be the one to say, hey, this I don't have enough capital to make it go down, so it looks like I wait, and that's okay.
Look
So
at yesterday. That sell off that we had. I don't know what time it was, but
it was right after New York lunch.
Nothing on the tape. I searched and searched and searched. I couldn't find a level on a higher time frame that made sense. Nothing.
I had nothing. It just ran out of buyers, and it just collapsed.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. I'll tell you a plausible thing, and you can't tell me I'm wrong, and here's why. Because I've seen it a million times.
Okay.
But it's also just a bullshit guess. Someone came in and did a really large trade and made a market making guess long.
Okay.
So I'm sure if you search the options market or you search the ETF market or whatever, some large account came in and said, you know, I need a price on this structure that's going to make you long $1 billion.
Yeah.
What's your price? This shit goes on.
Oh, there's no question it does. I 100% agree with you. It goes on. It has to.
So
It actually has
right
to.
now, because the market maker goes, I got to get the fuck out of this. It's going against. I got to get out. I got to get out.
100% agree with you. So, just deep breath. It'll be okay. We will be okay. It'll come back to us. And I made some minor mistakes, but not any big mistakes. And 2 stops is acceptable to me. If I can't trade with 2 stops, I shouldn't trade, right? Like that just should not go down. If I look at this and I go, hey, 2 stops is too much risk for me, I need not be in this market, right?
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. There's no question in my mind that that is a true statement. So if that's the case,
Yeah.
that's the case, and I'm all right with that. You know, there's just nothing I can do about that, nor should there be anything I should do about that.
All right, I'm still taking away from your time off, so go.
We'll talk in a little bit.
I'll see you in coaching. What time is coaching?
4:15 today. CST.
Okay, do you have anything before that?
I have someone right in front of me. I can ask him if he can switch, if you want me to.
No, it's okay. I'm good. We'll see you at 4:15 CST.
Okay, talk to you in a little bit.
Okay.
See you. Bye. Hey, hold on a second.